must have been. He was just trolling people.
Oh, yeah.
that's a good idea.
He was lowering his ADP so he could get himself on all his drafts.
Like the cornerbacks in his division are like, oh, we're gonna eat this motherfucker up. Like,
We don't have to
Hey,
cover him.
Triple T Higgins.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You all ready now?
Yeah, what are we doing again?
This is your forecast.
Oh,
That's what we're doing.
this is forecast.
Forecast time, baby. Best time of the week.
I'm your host, Jordan Jacob, Nate.
What's up?
Nate's getting some props on the comments of the last episode.
Yeah, that one guy in there. That's my guy. I appreciate you.
He might have actually been a complete stranger that none of us know.
I mean,
I
that'd
don't
be cool.
Yeah,
You know, we like strangers.
that's a weird thing to say.
They're not danger.
That happened to be our most viewed episode too. So
Yeah. Well, he actually got it too. Like Nate is the brains of NFL. Like he knows all. He keeps up to date with everything.
If only I could take my own advice and execute on these things, man, we'd be golden. But that's just not how it works.
one thing I'm worried about though is that he infected us with the rookie fever.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not.
it's that time of year, man.
I'm not. I don't have a fever.
Well,
We'll see how you
I got the
feel.
rookie flu.
The rookie flu. I'm down bad.
I don't
Well,
know.
either way, we're taking a test today
Okay.
to see if who of us have it.
Give me my
Alright.
Scantron.
I love a test. A scan. I didn't bring my pencil.
Yeah, number 2. Yeah, it's chewed up by whiskey a little bit, but
Yeah.
what is
I mean,
number
that
2?
happens.
That's dope.
It's a Ticonderoga, man. That's a high value pencil.
Whoa, you actually got it working.
Look at that.
Is that
I
a
got.
gold?
What I'm gonna do is copy this on 3 different so we can keep track of everybody's score. So
Yeah,
that
won't
we
be
all
long at
know.
it.
Yeah, see who's
gonna be
really
your
in on
hobby.
the rookie fever.
Yeah. All right, Nate. First one's you.
Man, Marvin Harrison, Amon-Ra
I
St.
already
Brown.
know you what you're gonna say.
That's straight into a tough one. I mean,
It is a tough one.
yeah, I'm gonna keep it
We've
simple.
already
Though.
kind of talked about it.
Yeah, we touched
Yeah.
on it before. I'm gonna keep it simple, maybe a little surprising. I'm gonna take Amon-Ra.
That is surprising.
I've seen him do it.
Yeah.
There's no reason. I'm
Yeah.
hoping Marvin Harrison is Amon-Ra.
Yeah. What is it? Is it like 2 years he was like top 5? Like I don't see how you.
Yeah, I mean the
or
guy's
top
just
10,
gotten better
it's
every
like-
single year, and he
he's-
finishes. He's a PPR machine.
Yeah, I'm going Raw too.
Is that across the board? Amon-Ra over
It's
Marvin.
that one's a little weird to me. We were going off keep trade cut rankings, and
Yeah,
it's weird to me that they're even that close.
yeah, I can't believe
Yeah.
they're that close. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
Across the board here, Nate again.
Oh,
Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson. Man, that's tough.
Now Anthony Richardson, you can say we sort of seen him do it, but he only played in
6
2 full games. So
Just based on what I think I can do with them as a trade piece, I'm gonna go with Caleb.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
fair.
I just think I can do more with that name right now than I can Anthony Richardson. He's the new
Yeah.
hotness, so that's where I'm going.
I like Richards. I like Richardson. He's a running quarterback. I'm in for any running quarterback.
He's special. I mean, he's a linebacker out there when he's running.
Yeah, he gets a lot of points too. So
yeah, I'm
even
going.
if he didn't only,
I don't even like Caleb Williams, so it's more
Yeah, I
about. I
don't like
mean,
him either.
it's more about that than.
Yeah.
I think once you go on the Bears, I just don't like you.
He's got to turn that around, man. The Bears.
It's the next one. Jaden Daniels and Trevor Lawrence.
Man, well, that one is like, I have to answer Jaden Daniels because I'm a Washington fan. You know, I'm
But
not
you
going to not
also-
take my guy. But
You
I also
have Trevor Lawrence on your.
I do
fantasy
own
team,
Trevor
so-
Lawrence in a couple dynasty leagues. I just feel like I've seen what he is, and I know what he is, and he's not a league winner. He's not a difference maker. So I'm going to go for the upside here and take Jaden Daniels and just believe that there will be a sell window to get out on him at some point if I'm not in still.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm not a rookie guy, so normally I don't go for rookies, and like I like proven talent and stuff like that. Trevor Lawrence, I spoke up about him last year being a breakout candidate,
How'd
and
that work out for you?
he just he
that
sucks,
one
bro.
wasn't a hit.
He's Xavier Leggett, dude. He's buns.
To be fair, that
Buns.
might have been the only one that you missed last year, though.
Yeah,
You were on
yeah,
with the
I
takes
do feel
last
like
year,
I had
man.
some good ones.
That
but,
Rashad
yeah, and
White
that's
take
why.
was
Yeah, get
that
out of here,
stonks up.
Trevor.
So you're going with Daniels?
Yeah, I'm going Daniels, and Trevor Lawrence, stop turning the ball over. I can't handle that stuff. If I was a Jags fan and Bills fan, like I love Josh Allen as a player, but dude, stop turning the ball over.
Killer as a fan.
I hate it.
That's tough.
Trevor Lawrence is money if the play works out perfect.
Yeah.
And the guy that he was looking at in the
Yeah.
beginning, dude, he can put it on the money, and he's got a strong.
He's great
arm.
going through his reads. Really
But
is.
Yeah, when the play goes good, he is good. Yeah.
what's
Nice
that?
take, John.
When Calvin Ridley was wide open last year, it
Yes.
worked great for them.
Yes. But he doesn't have he has the physical abilities like Josh Allen, but he doesn't have the awareness either.
Yeah.
So I got to go with the upside here too, and I really like Jaden Daniels anyway.
Yeah, I like it, man. It's a clean sweep.
It just James Daniels run a lot.
He does.
Okay, yeah.
He does. He has this tendency to get blown up though. He does
Oh,
not
man.
slide. He doesn't
He's
get
little,
down.
and
He
he's
tries to
like real
slide.
skinny.
Yeah, he's a pretty skinny guy. It's a little worrisome, but we'll see how it goes.
Did he play at Arizona State too?
I believe so. I think that's where he played his first year, just his freshman year.
LSU.
Yes.
Because I remember watching him.
I could be wrong on that for sure.
There was a receiver that was from Arizona State that I was watching, and Jaden Daniels was playing. He was a freshman. I was like, man, that guy's gonna be good. Now he
Yeah,
is.
I mean, he has a.
Yeah, you
he's
really
always
saw
had like
that.
the it factor
Nobody
about him. It's just a
believes
matter of making the right
Okay.
reads and plays.
Hey,
so.
keep that out of the camera, dude. We're not sponsored yet.
Yeah, I like that. Not just yet.
Mountains are blue though.
What are we going with, Neighbors or Wilson?
Elite Neighbors or Garrett Wilson? Man, I'm the guy who's down on Garrett Wilson more than anybody, I think, that I know at all, really. I'm taking Neighbors here. It's not close to me just because of what I think the floor from Elite Neighbors is, and I think that floor is, in 2 years, he's done very similarly to Garrett Wilson, and he has the built-in excuse of Daniel Jones sucks. The Giants can't put any talent around him, just like the Jets have the last 2 years. You know, the talent just hasn't really been there to get Garrett Wilson the ball, and he's a very talented individual, but for me, he hasn't been a difference maker, and he's still ranked that way. So I just think he's a little overinflated value-wise, and I could see it come back down if it doesn't happen this year. So for me, I'm going to go Neighbors.
I agree with what you're saying there. As far as if he does have a down year, yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah, this
fall.
is. I mean, it's not going to be top 8 again next year. You're looking at 22.
Yeah. I think this year will be the year that you need to start going away from Wilson if he doesn't really pull it out. I think talent wise, he's a really great receiver.
Oh yeah.
So, and and he's already established. Malik Neighbors, I think he is going to be good, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but I got to go Garrett Wilson. I think this would be the year that he is going to break out. He's good, or at least like be that guy. But Malik Neighbors being on that offense, I don't trust Brian Dable with getting one receiver involved. You got Hyatt.
It's been rough.
I think Wan'Dale Robinson's going to be really good, and because he uses
They have
them.
talented guys. I mean, it seems like they just kept drafting the same guy every year.
Yeah,
The same little slot guy who
and
can't
now
run
you got
outside.
5 Sterling Shepherds.
Yep. Where are you going, Chad?
I'm going with Garrett Wilson because I couldn't disagree with you more about him. I think he's a special player. I think he's gonna. If I was gonna be one to make a hot take, I would say he's gonna be the next CeeDee Lamb and enter that upper.
And he definitely could.
I don't think you can. I think you can disagree with him, but he isn't there on fantasy. For fantasy value, he isn't there yet. Because
I agree. Not yet, but
not.
I mean, I see the trajectory you're talking about, though. I mean, CeeDee Lamb kind of did the same thing the first couple of years, where it was like, he's really good. You see the talent. I mean, he's just exploding with talent. Then Amari Cooper left, and it was like, oh no, he's him.
Odunze or Olave?
Oh man,
That's a mouthful.
I'm a huge Odunze guy. I mean, I love Rome. That's my guy. Like I love Mike Evans. He reminds me a lot of Mike Evans. That's all I see. He's screaming Mike Evans to me.
Great at those jump balls.
Great at him. But that's a little worrisome. Like I need to see you win jump balls at the NFL level for me to be like, oh yeah, you're an elite X, because that's what he has to do to, in my opinion, to succeed at the NFL is he has to keep winning those 50-50 balls.
Yeah.
I think he's capable of it, and he does get good separation and stuff, and he puts himself in a good position. But he has to make sure he wins those at the NFL level, and because of that, I'm taking Chris Olave. I mean, it's for me, him and Garrett Wilson are the same exact thing. I think they're uber talented players. Situation hasn't been great, and they've performed well enough that their value's high. But they're both at a point this year where I think you either have to be in or out. It's either they're making the jump or you sell before you take the risk.
Yeah, I think Olave is taking. I think he's gone above where Garrett Wilson was, and I always thought Garrett Wilson was a better receiver than Olave, but I think Olave is just putting up way too many points to give up him for Odunze.
Yeah,
I think it almost reminds me of the first question with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Amon-Ra. Olave's been doing it, so I can't give that up for Odunze.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Olave too. He's actually been putting up better numbers than Garrett Wilson
Yeah.
did too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he's sort of already been established more than.
Yeah, I feel bad because I thought Chris Olave wasn't going to be that good.
Really?
Watching him in college, I saw.
I mean,
a couple
I'll
drops
have to
where
say
it's
I agree with you because I passed on him in our rookie draft and took Jameson Williams over both of them. So
just- yeah,
that was tough.
Williams
still
looked
waiting
good
on that
though.
Man.
Yeah,
So I hope I know who you guys are taking with this one. Otherwise, we aren't friends anymore.
Drake May and Brock Purdy. I don't think it's that close.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think so.
taking Brock.
Yeah.
Big cock Brock, man.
Yes.
Come on home.
Yeah.
I don't care about. It's too efficient. He can't keep it up. He has. I watched it for over a season now, full season, plus 2 playoff runs. The efficiency is going to be there as long as those weapons are there. They've continued to invest. You could put almost any name for the 49ers, and if they're not awful, I'm going to take them over Drake May.
yeah.
That's just where I'm at with that system and that situation.
That's tough. It's tough for me, and I don't like Brock Purdy. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't like 49ers players. So
I feel that.
I really want to take Drake May. I think he has a lot of potential.
He does.
I think the biggest problem for me that I would still go Brock Purdy. I think the biggest problem for Drake May is I don't like Gerard Mayo. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like his situation. He's got a good line, I guess, but I don't like it at all. I think with the weapons that he has, Brock Purdy all the way. Because
Chad, you're the resident Brock Purdy expert, man. Where are you at?
Yeah, I don't even think I have to talk about it.
Let's
just go to the next one.
That's just
I'm not
Brock
allowed
Purdy.
to talk about it. Actually, Jude put me on mute on that.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not allowed to talk about Brock Purdy anymore.
Oh, man. Brock Bowers and Dalton Kincaid.
Oh yeah.
This is another one for me that is so easy. I'm going to take Kincaid.
Yeah.
I don't care how good of a prospect you are as a tight end. If the price I have to pay for you is a first-round pick, I'm just out already.
Yeah.
And now you go to a situation where, they just drafted a tight end last year in the second round, Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
And, he didn't really perform. And I don't know if that's an indication of the offense and the direction they're going.
Yeah.
It was kind of an up and down sort of show in Vegas last year, so to say.
And at the end of the year, Michael Mayer was getting some targets.
Yeah, he definitely was. I know he missed time. He was hurt for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kincaid, in my opinion, will probably lead the Bills in targets this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Josh Allen as
he's
number
definitely
1 or
gonna be
at
good.
worst number 2 target. I'm just going to take that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if Brock Bowers would have went to any other team, I probably would have picked him. But
Yeah, there was a lot of
Going
teams
to the
out there that
Raiders.
went to, that would be
yeah, I'm
nice.
going Kincaid.
Yeah, dude, Kincaid. To your point is most of the time tight ends that are the elite ones are often the guys that don't have any competition,
Right.
Mhm.
and they're just target hogs, and I feel like that's Kincaid.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram the last 2 years is a good example of that. That's a guy who finished, I think, 4th 2 years in a row in PPR scoring for tight ends.
Yeah.
And I don't
And
think
I
Evan
still
Ingram's
don't like
special. It's just
Yeah.
The guy I was thinking of is out Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper. Yeah, exactly.
Like, he had that 1 year,
Yep.
and that's just because they didn't have any. They had Ridley, but that was it. So,
Yeah.
and another thing about Bowers to me, I want to see how the coach is going to use this guy because
Exactly.
he's
Yeah.
such a unique guy.
Yeah, I think he's a great player. Like I said,
Incredibly talented.
any other team.
He's a stud. He really
Yeah.
is. But
I would have liked to seen him go to like Kansas City and see what Andy Reid could draw up for him, or
Man,
maybe
just anybody, dude. I'm telling you, any other team.
All right, what if I throw a pivot your guys' way? Are we okay with a quick pivot here?
Go ahead.
Instead of Dalton Kincaid, what if it was T.J. Hawkinson coming off the blown out knee? Taking Bowers over him, or are you still sticking with Hawkinson?
DJ Hawkinson.
Yeah?
Yeah, all day.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
So that puts in perspective for me. Bowers isn't even in my top
Dude.
6 probably for tight ends. Maybe not
Yeah.
top 5. Like
Yeah, I think even if you're going like Dallas Goedert, like I'm thinking that's almost where I'm comparing.
especially this year.
Yeah.
Well, tight ends don't typically get drafted that high, so
Yeah.
there is.
I almost like
That's
that
a
one
good
boy for
draft.
Washington more.
Ben Sinnott.
Yeah.
I love Ben Sinnott.
I-
I'm not going to argue with that,
I
but
just- the Raiders, screw you, man.
that's a tough one.
I don't know why Brock Bowers is rated that high because he's way higher than Hawkinson.
Really?
But yeah,
See, that's what I was
I was
thinking
going
is
by the rankings.
based on what
Yeah.
I've seen from the community as a whole, for the most part,
Wow.
basically Reddit, I guess, not really the community as a whole, but people
That's
on
one
Reddit,
community.
they got the rookie fever more than I do.
Oh, yeah.
So they're crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Tua or McCarthy.
Tua, J.J. McCarthy. Man, that has a little bit of nuance to it, in my opinion. If I want to win right now, I'm taking Tua. Like, I don't think it's a question about it. I think he's just going to be more consistently productive. But if you ask me starting my team right now, like if we're just in a startup draft,
Yeah.
I might take McCarthy because I'm not a Tua hater, but I think we're 2 years away from Tyreek Hill retiring, and I don't know what that's going to look like. I love Jalen Waddle, but I don't know if they can build the entire offense around Jalen Waddle and the run game the way they have with Tyreek Hill. I don't know if he's that kind of threat.
I would imagine.
I need an answer for that.
All right, JJ McCarthy. Give me McCarthy. And I'm not even a McCarthy guy at all.
I would imagine. What's the coach's name? Mike.
For who?
The
Mike
Dolphins.
McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. I would imagine the more he builds a team, he's going to go more running offense.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
they drafted Jalen Wright again this year, and this year.
yeah,
They drafted him this year,
running back.
running back, for 2 years in a row now. So
Did Tua get his contract? Did he
yes,
get any contract? He did?
last year, I believe.
Okay.
This time last
Long
year.
one? Yeah, then I'm going Tua. I think Tua, JJ.
That's totally fair.
JJ he was like, especially going into the draft, he was like, you don't know if he's going to be starting in 2 years. So
Yeah.
I got to go Tua.
I'm going Tua also. He's not really special, but he's in a good offense,
Yeah.
and he does have some good qualities to
Yeah,
him. Actually, he fits that offense very well.
I would say.
So
Yeah.
I agree.
Almost like Brock
He's a
Purdy.
smart player.
Actually, that's a good comparison. Actually, it really is.
Yeah, I like that. McDaniel's a Shanahan
Yeah.
coaching tree guy, so it makes sense that their
Yeah.
offense is run like that.
Obviously, Tua is not quite as good as Purdy, but
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go to Worthy and JSN.
Xavier Worthy and JSN. All right, I'm a JSN guy, but I'm I'm not that in on him. Like, I'm going Xavier Worthy with everything that's happening with Rashee Rice right now. I'm taking my chance at the only guy I know who's going to be on the team this year and next year. I don't know about Rashee Rice this year. I don't know about Hollywood Brown next year. I know Xavier Worthy's there for the next 4 years at least. So I'm going to go with that.
I got to go JSN. JSN just looks too good. And I think it goes back to, like, me, we're just wanting talented players. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Xavier Worthy, so it's fair to say I might not know what I'm talking about. But I watched JSN play, and he's a great player. I think he's going to, like, once DK and once he's the main guy, and I think he will be the main guy, I think he's going to be a really good receiver. And I'm still going to decline that trade for a lie.
He's not that good.
JSN is a zone beater. Like he's gonna be Robert Woods.
My comparison
You
for him
think
was
so?
Deontay Johnson coming out. Like, I think he excels at just finding the soft spots, all the underneath stuff. But I mean, that can still work out really well.
I'll
for
take
fantasy.
Deontay Johnson who can catch. I'll take that.
Yeah, that version of Deontay was good.
Catch, yeah. I'm going with Worthy on this one. Just because I did a couple JSN games for the cut-ups, and I think he's a good player, but he's not great.
Yeah.
And in fantasy, a good player doesn't mean as much. You gotta try to
I
find
know.
the special players.
Yeah,
I think
that's
this is
fair.
actually a good kind of barometer for the value of them, too.
Yeah.
I think if you wanted to re-roll from JSN, you could get into the late first and pick 8, 9, something like that, and get Worthy. Or if you wanted to get out and you're like, I don't really like Worthy, you could probably offer that pick for JSN and get JSN from most owners. So I think it's
That's
a
really close
good call your shot value right there.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brooks, maybe the starter at Carolina, and James Cook,
That's who's they're comparing him to.
those guys are
As far
right
as
next to each other.
value-wise,
Yeah.
right now, yep.
That's
guys are right
that's
next to each
crazy
other.
to me. I know, and maybe it's just crazy to me. I like James Cook. I think the way he played he tore it up the second half of the season.
You're going James Cook?
Yeah, and the fantasy value, like, dude, he was getting a lot of points.
I mean,
at the end of
he's
the year.
a talented player. I like him a lot. He's not Dalvin Cook, though. And because of that, I'm taking Jonathan Brooks because there's a kind of shocking stat that I just kind of ran into the other day. How many rushing touchdowns do you think James Cook has in his NFL career? 2 seasons.
10.
I could probably somewhere near that.
4. He has 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I love that stat. The
Josh
fact that he
Allen
was getting so many.
Josh Allen has 40 more carries inside the 5 in the last 2 years than James Cook does.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray had 14 more carries inside the 5 last year.
Yeah.
I wonder if once
I'm just taking the
Once he-
upside.
once Josh Allen gets his MVP, they'll stop doing that.
Yep. Say, all right, you're good. We need to keep you alive.
Yeah.
James
They
Cook-
probably will.
is a really good player, though. He
Credit
doesn't
to
jump
him.
off the screen with being big and fast, but he just seems to know
Yeah.
the right thing to do on the
Good
field.
cut.
Like he's really quick with his cuts, and I'm going with him. I don't even know anything about Jonathan Brooks, and I don't.
And
really care.
another thing where maybe I just didn't look enough into Jonathan Brooks. And also, like, dude, you got Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard. Like, I already don't.
It's a rough situation. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to act like the Panthers are the dream landing spot for a running back, but at the same time, I mean, like you said, you got Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
It's not exactly like there's
Just a good
competition there. The draft capital's there, so for me, I'm just taking it and hoping he can
Yeah.
fall into the end zone
That's
more
fair.
than 4 times.
Honestly, like a second round running back is that they're drafting you to be a starter.
Yeah.
The way the
true.
NFL is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
The second round draft capital is the new first round draft capital.
Yeah.
You have to be Bijan, Jameer Gibbs, Brees Hall to go in the first. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to be an exceptional player where there is no question about it.
Did Brees Hall go in the first?
I thought he went to second.
I
He
thought
did
he,
go in the
yeah,
second.
and that's crazy because I think everybody knew he was going to be good.
Yeah,
And he
everybody.
still don't get drafted. Yeah.
Yeah. So next up,
Brian Thomas Jr., George Pickens.
man, that's even a good comparison for him as a player.
Yes.
Like I think that can
Yes.
be who he is that kind of big-bodied ex sideline receiver where he's just occasionally going to make the best catch of the year.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you're just going to see that several times from him every year. Man, I love Brian Thomas, and I hate the Steelers. Man, I hate the Steelers for fantasy football reasons. I hate Pittsburgh.
I don't like either player. I would go George Pickens and then trade him.
I'm going Brian Thomas and then probably trade him. Can I just take like the 110 or the 109 or something? Can I just have the draft pick? Because that's what I want here. I want
love
to take this
Pickens
player
as
and get a different player.
I love Pickens as a player, but in fantasy, yeah, get him off my team, bro.
Yeah.
So,
It's gonna
but
be bad with
people will give you 2 seconds for him. Isn't
Is that a
that
fact?
what he traded for in one of our leagues?
Oh, I don't know.
No, you got 2
Let's
firsts
see.
for him midway through his
2
rookie
firsts,
year.
yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say
By
that.
incredible, I mean,
Yeah.
I can believe that.
Well,
It's
he's,
just, holy.
well, he's won a championship and I haven't, so I can't
Yeah,
say.
yeah. What do we know?
Did you say which one you're going with?
Yeah, I'm going Pickens and then trading him.
Okay. Well, man, it's.
Steelers.
I don't like either one. Yeah, I gotta go with
Just go.
Pickens.
You gotta
I'm
get
not,
your
I'm
guy.
not gonna. Yeah.
go Pickens.
Dylan will
I'm
be
going
so
Pickens.
upset if you don't take George Pickens.
Dude, my whole family wouldn't talk to me for the next day.
Man, I'm going to jump right in. This is so easy for me. Lad versus Debo. Give me Lad McConkey.
Give me Lad.
Give me him.
Yeah, Debo, I think he's a really good player, even though 49ers.
He's an awesome football player.
I just think Lad's in such a good spot to just do good.
Yeah, and I mean, Lad obviously has the injury label on him too. He's never put together a full season.
So
But-
Debo.
Neither has Debo. Debo's had one full season. We saw him. It was awesome.
Yeah.
He finished like wide receiver 2 or 3, something like that, 3 years ago probably. But ever since that and before that, it's you get your 8 or 9 Debo games a year, and you're pretty happy with 6 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets schemed in and out of the offense. He's not a receiver. That's not just he's not just a receiver. He does so much more than that, and they like to use him that way. But for me, I'm just going to take the guy who's probably 6 years younger
Mhm.
and
Yeah, he is.
walking into the number 1 on his team with no trade rumors about him or the other guy getting shipped out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Debo, you said he's not just a receiver, or he's not. He's barely a receiver.
yeah, I mean, honestly,
He's more of a
I think
runner.
Lad is a better receiver than Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Lad too, man. Like, who else are they going to throw to? You got Justin Herbert. I mean, I keep hearing all that stuff that they're not going to be throwing the ball that much.
You think
I mean,
I
even
don't
the
know.
teams with the least pass attempts in the NFL, it's still like almost 30 a game now.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if he's good enough, I mean, he's going to get a 33% target share as a rookie. If he's getting 8 to 10 targets a game, which
Yeah.
I think he's capable of doing,
For sure. Is this for real? I guess Will Levis is the starter. Never mind.
Dude, they're close. Like,
Yeah.
Will Levis is like 4 down.
people
from Bo
loved
Nix.
that 4 touchdown game, that one really good game he had in his
Yeah.
first game, and it was cool.
And the fumble he got.
yeah, I've read the interception that he
Yeah.
threw and then forced the
Yeah.
fumble.
I do like it, but yeah.
I like the player. Give me Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I'm taking
So-
Bo Nix.
I think Bo Nix is going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's going to be a pretty decent guy. So yeah, I'm going Bo Nix. Also, Titan. Well, I don't know. Titans offense just
I'll give
doesn't-
Tennessee props. They're doing everything they can to see if Will Levis is the guy. More teams need to follow that kind of lead, in my
Yeah.
opinion. if you think there's even a chance he's the guy, go for it. Put some talent around him. Find out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You sneak into the playoffs, or you win too many games.
The best thing that could happen is Will Levis gets hurt and then Mason Rudolph comes in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
Who's that the best for? That's not the best for anybody.
It's the best for Mason Rudolph.
Maybe.
2 Bo Nix.
He has to
please.
risk injury. He's getting paid the same.
2 Bo Nix.
And I don't even like Bo Nix.
You cheat.
I do kind of like him.
I like Bo Nix. Oregon quarterback was touted really good. Like, I don't know. I don't see how he dropped like so hard in everybody's mind. So
But before the draft, I think I was reading all they were saying he was going to fall to the second round.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of rumors about where these guys were going to go, but I'm taking the first round draft guy.
Jaden Reed.
This one's one I switched on you.
Jaden Reed on the Packers.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman, Jaden Reed. For me, I think Jaden Reed is an easy sell. If you have Jaden Reed, for me, it's I don't know who the 1 on the Packers is.
Yeah.
I don't know who the 2 on the Packers
Kind of
is.
turning into
I don't
the
even know
Giants.
who the 3 on the Packers is.
That's a weird.
Jaden Reed could be the 1, he could be the 2, he could be the 3. There's so much talent there. They have 2 talented tight ends that they drafted last year that are young. They're going to be around for a while. They just drafted another running back, Marshawn Lloyd, and they signed Josh Jacobs. There's so many mouths to feed on that team, and I don't think Jaden Reed sticks out that much more than Christian Watson or Dontavian Wicks.
I like Wicks more than I like Reed.
Yeah, so for me, give me Keon Coleman, especially because, I mean, you see everything from him on TikTok and Instagram and all his interviews. People already love him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a personality. I'm taking Keon Coleman for sure.
Did you pick him as your loser for after the draft?
Yeah.
I'll pick him again as my loser and still take him again. Maybe that's more saying Jaden Reed is more of a loser.
Yeah, hey, rookie fever hitting even harder than it was 2 weeks ago, you know? Coleman's on the way up
I'm
from
going
me.
Keon Coleman too. The same thing, dude. Like Wicks, I like Wicks, Dobbs more than I like Reed. So why would I take Coleman over number 1? I mean, number 1-ish. I don't know where he is, but
Jaden Reed is going to, whoever wins the wide receiver role, number 1, Jaden Reed's going to have a role either way. Because he's like that Debo. He's kind of like Debo.
Yeah, I called him Wisconsin Debo last year. It's exactly how I felt, too.
They got him the ball on the jet sweeps and all that kind of stuff.
cool. They
He's
can
not
keep doing
definitely
it.
as good, but
They can keep
He's
doing
very
it. I'll still
talented.
pick
It's just
Keon.
that's a little worrisome to me because I think of Dontavian Wicks as a kind of gadget player as well, where he can do a lot of that similar stuff to Jaden Reed. So I can't really project who's going to be doing what. If they're going, I don't know if I can count on that gadget role for Jaden Reed or if he's only going to be an outside receiver or something. So that's where I'm at.
I'm going with Jaden Reed because
I like him. He's a good player.
you said that you hated Keon Coleman. That's the only thing I know about him.
Well, I hate him and I took him over Jaden Reed, so that tells you how I feel about him.
Is this for real? People are picking Trey Benson at the same place as Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs is going. I'm good. This is keep trade cut here. Is going. Jacobs is going a little bit before Trey Benson.
We just
On that.
shouldn't have done running backs at all. Because
Oh,
this is Josh
whatever.
Jacobs all day.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going Jacobs all day, huh?
That's all day.
Oh,
I don't see how you go Trey
I
Benson.
switched
over.
that one. Though.
That's all right. We'll
I gotta
figure
go.
it out.
I'll
I'm going to be honest. That's a tough question for me. And I really like Josh Jacobs, but the Packers had to draft somebody. I do get that. They didn't have to draft Marshawn Lloyd where they did. Like, I don't think Marshawn Lloyd, in my opinion, before the draft, stood out any more than the running backs that went in the 4th, 5th, all the other guys like that. So them kind of, putting their foot down and spending a decent pick in this draft. I mean, he was, the 3rd, 4th running back taken, I believe. It puts a little wrench in there for me. I'll go Benson. I'll take Benson. Give me the young guy. I think he has enough pop that this time next year, James Conner's probably gone.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I think Trey Benson is in a good spot to do good eventually or be the number 1 guy. But, I mean, Josh Jacobs is just a high caliber player.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think if I was sitting on the clock doing a startup draft, it's probably too rich for my blood for both of these players.
Oh, yeah.
I probably wouldn't draft
Sound
either of
good,
these
doesn't it?
guys in my top
Josh
10.
Jacobs is going to scare me in 2 years whenever he might not be.
I think I'm going Benson on this one.
Yeah.
Because,
Welcome to the dark side.
Jacobs is already. I feel like I make fun of people like this. He's already 26.
That's an old man in running back years.
Yes, running back has changed so much, and he can
Yeah.
see.
And it's not even just the age; it's the workload, the amount of carries and touches he's had. I mean, the Raiders gave him the rock the last 3 or 4 years. So, but he's a productive player.
Yeah.
But this one also depends on what your team is like, very much.
I agree. This one is very team dependent. If your team is set up to win, why would you take Trey Benson over Josh Jacobs?
But yeah, I'm going with Trey Benson because I'm gonna. If this is a startup draft, I'm gonna take James Conner later. So
Exactly. Yeah, I want James Conner so bad at the end of the draft.
You have
This is
a bad case of rookie
I have a bad
fever,
case of
brother.
rookie fever. For me, I think we're at the time of the year where about 2 weeks ago, rookie fever was just a touch thing. You could get it if I touch it. It's airborne now. You just have to be within, a few mile radius of somebody who has it, and you're catching it a little bit.
Do I?
you have a mild
I'm
case.
surprised at that.
Hey, look at you.
I think it's just the players that were like right next to him. I just don't know.
You disagree with the comps? Is that what you're trying to say?
I just don't like the players that were the comps. Yeah.
I thought the comps were value-wise pretty much dead on.
I
It's
think
just
they were-
I
I think they
think
were
we all
close. I
have
think
very
they were
strong
personal.
preferences
Yeah.
in a lot of the situations based on some of these veteran players.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of them.
Let's see what I got a mild case too.
You're a mild
so-
case too, man. You guys are coming down with it.
That makes
think
sense.
You gave it to us. I'm pretty sure.
That's
Well,
true.
don't ask me how I called it. I couldn't tell you.
You did pick Keon Coleman just because, or no, you picked Reed just because of